A new path to tread.
I've passed, have
A true noble never fails. I passed?
Oh,
I passed! I passed thanks to you, Professor.
no matter how powerful our enemies may be, there is no need to worry so long as we're with Catherine, the mighty wielder of Thunderbrand.
You mean you don't know? My weapon is called Thunderbrand. It's one of the hero's relics. A long, long time ago, the goddess bestowed divine weapons upon 10 heroes, which were passed down to their descendants. It's an honor to wield, but I'm afraid there won't be any chance for that today. Our mission is to help clean up the aftermath, not to fight.
One must wonder why Lord Lenato would incite such a reckless rebellion.
It all goes back to the tragedy of Dusker.
I remember that day well. No one saw it coming. Roughly 4 years ago, the King of Fargus was murdered by the people of Dusker. I believe that about sums it up, correct?
To put it simply, yes. But there's more to that story. They had accomplices within the kingdom as well. Lord Lenato's son, Kristoff, was one of them, and so he was handed over to the church for execution. King Lambert was attempting a major political reform. Needless to say, he had many enemies. Whatever the truth behind that incident may be, Lord Lenato has harbored resentment toward the church ever since. Well, to be more specific, his grudge isn't only against the church. It's also against the one who turned Kristoff over to them.
Report! The enemy is approaching. They can't be avoided. Their numbers are far greater than we predicted. They used the fog to slip past the Knight's perimeter.
It looks like our mission just changed, Professor. Everyone, prepare for battle!
Welcome! Come back soon! Welcome! Come back!
With this fog, it's impossible to tell where the enemy might be, or how many of them there are. The enemy could be trying to surround us, but they shouldn't have enough soldiers to form a tight circle. Take down anyone who breaks through the fog, and let's push through!
That smell. It's fresh blood. It seems the battle has already started within the fog.
Proceed with caution. Wait for them to enter your field of view.
Oh no.
Put me in there!
Stay focused.
I will prevail. I will get the victory.
I am Ferdinand von Ayer.
That's my cue.
As you wish.
Battle.
Lord Lenato doesn't deserve such sadness and anger. Now it's your turn to suffer.
You think we're just gonna do nothing while you try to kill our lord?
Is that all?
Predictable.
won't let you anywhere near Lord Lenato!
It's you. Thunderstrike Cassandra. It was your wretched zealotry that killed my son!
The only name I answer to is Catherine. Prepare to taste the blade of one who serves the goddess. Now you face a knight of Theros!
The fog has cleared. There's nothing left to hide you or the filthy Central Church from the judgment of the goddess.
Lord Lenato, please don't die.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe Lord Lenato has the strength to carry on.
Great help.
You'll be repaid.
You have...
Well done, everyone.
Damn it, it was all so pointless. I've never seen so many people utterly heartbroken.
Forcing innocent citizens to risk their lives? That man was not a noble, but a monster.
What could have pushed Lord Lenato to this point?
Everyone was a bit shaken by the militia fighting alongside our enemies. If only everyone could face reality so unflinchingly. The commoners who allied themselves with Lord Lenato believed they were fighting for a just cause. It would be disrespectful to consider them simply victims when they died for what they believed in. Still, we have no choice but to eliminate those who cling to unreasonable ideas of justice. Even if our enemies are the gods themselves, we must never lose sight of our goal. I'm surprised to hear you say that. Really, I'm just like Lenato. I, too, will be the sort of ruler who's willing to risk the lives of my citizens in service of a higher cause. It's not possible to change the world without sacrifice. Dying for the greater good is not a death in vain.
Professor, I'm afraid this incident is far more serious than anticipated. I found this on Lord Lenato. It's a note that mentions a plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. We can't tell who sent it, so the source is suspect, but the content is too disturbing to ignore. We must report this to Lady Rhea right away. I hope that it's nothing.
I am glad to see that you have returned safely. The goddess is gracious with her divine protection. But it was not only her divine protection that shielded you, was it? You are just as skilled as I had hoped. There is no need for modesty. I heard some of the students were hesitant about fighting militia. However, we must punish any sinner who may inflict harm upon believers, even if those sinners are civilians. I pray the students learned a valuable lesson about the fate that awaits all who are foolish enough to point their blades towards the heavens.
Our real concern is what Catherine reported. The secret message that was in Lord Lenato's possession. It contained a deplorable plot to target the Archbishop on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth. The plan seems unrealistic at best, but a threat is a threat. We must maintain constant vigilance. To that end, I would like for you and your students to help with security on the day of the ritual.
That is most reassuring. You have my gratitude.
The rite of rebirth is of paramount importance. It is when the Church of Seiros and its believers unite to pray for the return of the goddess. The Archbishop and I will be confined to the Goddess Tower once the ritual begins. Of course, the Knights will be on high alert as well. But there aren't enough of them to keep watch on every corner of the monastery. It is far from ideal to be forced to mobilize students, but the gravity of this situation requires that we all bend to avoid breaking.
While there is no need to fear for my safety, we cannot turn a blind eye to those who would blaspheme so heinously.
With any luck, this will all be for naught. Still, be on your guard.
Part 1. White Clouds. Blue Sea Moon. The Goddess's Rite of Rebirth. As the sun grows stronger and the nights grow ever shorter, the Blue Sea Star returns to the sky once more. Believed to be the goddess's home, her followers look to the star and commence celebrations of her rebirth. On the grounds of Garreg Mach Monastery, a grand ceremony is held in honor of this much-anticipated event. Every true follower of the Church of Seiros is sure to be in attendance.
Thanks. Hey, Professor, what's going on? A suspicious man? Where? Oh, is that him? What do you think he's up to? Never mind that. Let's get him! Why not? We can figure out what he's up to after we capture him. My instincts tell me that he's up to no good, and my instincts are never wrong. Come on, let's get him before he has a chance to strike! There's no time to calm down. I'm just gonna... Oh no. The path he's walking down leads to the plaza where the kids play. There's no way I'm letting this guy get anywhere near those kids.
Caspar, why did you disobey your professor?
Well,
I am not seeking excuses from you. I asked because I want you to consider your actions and apologize for them. It just so happens that you were correct in your assumption that this man was a villain. If that were not so, he would not have chosen to take his own life upon seeing you advancing toward him.
Great! So I was...
But, because of your actions, that is all we know. There is no way for us to know who he was, what he was planning to do, or if he has allies lurking about. The only lead we have is a scorpion tattooed on his arm. If this indicates that he was a member of an underground organization, we have no way of dealing with it. Are you prepared to be held responsible if his group commits a serious crime? Oh, I couldn't possibly.
What are you talking about, Professor? We didn't do anything wrong. Those kids might have been in danger if we didn't act. I couldn't just stand by and let that happen.
Our mission this month is to patrol and set up defenses to stop the assassination plot.
I wonder if an assassination attempt is truly the goal of our enemy.
Yes, I think so too. A barely concealed secret message trying to distract us from whatever's really going on. Sloppy, to say the least. And while everyone is out searching for a phantom assassin, they'll be free to accomplish their true goal with ease.
The monastery houses many valuable weapons. Perhaps that is their aim?
I hear the monastery has a treasure vault, too. Seems like the sort of place a foe would like some alone time in.
Garreg Mach is immense, and not just above ground, but below as well. Perhaps their aim lies beneath the monastery.
It seems to me that we should search the monastery for a clue as to what the enemy might be after. Of course, we must never underestimate the need for preparedness, in case a battle should ensue.
A secret meeting, Professor? Oh, we haven't been introduced. I am Shamir.
Shamir is one of the Knights of Saros, and this young man is...
I work for Lady Rhea, and I'm Shamir's apprentice. Oh, the name's Cyril. Yep, she's teaching me about the bow and the sword and all kinds of stuff. I've got to protect Lady Rhea, so that's why I've got to learn all I can from Shamir.
Cyril adores Rhea. That aside, if you need anything, ask.
A hero's relic. Quite so. This... A hero's...
How's that?
You spend too much time roaming the monastery. If you're looking for something, try less aimless wandering. Do you even know who the enemy is? You can't know why without knowing who. It's none of my business anyway. I'm just here to take care of enemies who get too close. It's not mine.
Lord Lenato's rebellion may have been quelled, but the unrest in Fargus isn't dying down anytime soon. The Boar Prince should hurry up and claim the throne, rather than letting old customs hold him back. Join me for some training sometime. I'm interested in your... I might like to become your student someday.
You're skilled. Why won't you battle me?
What the? I bet. What do you think, Professor? Oh, I'm right, all right. My animal instinct is telling me that the enemy is after our best meats. Oh, hey! I can't believe I dropped this! Thanks for...
Professor, people die in every battle. And it can be by sword or spear or magic, but depending on who it is that died, depending on who died, it's different. I hope nothing bad happens this month. I'm sorry, but... Perhaps...
Our enemy's true target. What could it be? The monastery has been around for nearly a millennium. It's only logical that there are secrets here. We'd better investigate. Would you mind asking around and seeing what you can dig up? Once you've uncovered some leads, we'll regroup. How did you know this was mine? Thank you, my teacher. I have a favor to ask.
That's so.
Let's see.
Professor.
What the?
Let's see.
Hey there.
I've been in town procuring some supplies for Flame. No, but do not concern yourself for my safety. I am very much stronger than I appear. I have something to ask of you. I'm sorry to... I'm sorry to... I'm sorry to...
That's so.
Something in the monastery that someone might go after? There's so much here, I couldn't possibly name just one. Even this here kitchen contains precious wares, wine bottles from centuries past and the like. I hear that stuff is fancy, but not very drinkable. I doubt anyone would go to the trouble of stealing it.
What's the matter? You're running all over creation. Ah, you don't believe Lady Rhea is the real target, do you? Even so, the knights have their orders. We can't abandon our duty to guard Lady Rhea. The goddess's rite of rebirth is an important event for the Church of Seiros. They say it's the day when the goddess will return to walk among us. Not too likely, if you ask me. Best if you keep that to yourself.
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
This is my favorite. I am rather happy you went out of your way to pick it, Professor.
This is a wonderful dish. You could sell this in any restaurant in the capital.
Maybe
Maybe. It would be terrible if the greenhouse was targeted. The plants in here are incredibly valuable. This place contains the heart of Garreg Mach's 995-year history. So many beautiful flowers, plants that can save or end lives. They are all my precious children. Maybe. Okay? What? Hey, Professor. I hope you're... As for me, I had a date with a splendid specimen of a knight. But now he's suddenly not in the mood to see me again. I blame all these rumors of a deathly figure showing up in town. Such an uproar must have, beyond reason, drawn his attention away from me. Would you be so kind as to do me a favor?
The glory of
I simply must thank you, Professor. Okay?
Sometimes I wonder if your life could have taken you down a different path. If you had never met me and entered my service, you might have had a more peaceful...
A more tedious path. Inconsequential and spoiled rotten, like so many other nobles. Never. My duty to you is no mere obligation. I chose this. I had thought that would be obvious to you.
I understand you well, better than anyone. But when I see you at the monastery, studying with the others, it makes me wonder what kind of life you might have had without me. That's all.
Such a life may have had its appeal. I thought I'd left my years of carefree innocence behind me. But I cannot deny that I find myself enjoying my time at the monastery.
I feel the same way.
That enjoyment, however, is only thanks to you. Standing by your side is all that truly matters to me.
I see. Then I won't speak of such things again. If it's really what you want, I'll gladly keep you by my side. The path I must walk is soaked in blood. It's a path that can lead to madness, can snatch away one's future, and can even take one's life. And the pool of blood at my feet is growing larger. Those stains can never be washed clean.
Please leave the violence to me. A leader must be seen as pure, above the fray. Allow me to paint the path that lies before you red with the blood of your enemies. I will do it gladly.
Hey, Adi. Uh-oh, you're scowling again. You're going to get wrinkles all over that cute face of yours if you don't smile more.
Hello, Dorothea. I was just lost in thought. There are so many things to be done. To think of them makes my head ache sometimes. So many nobles of the Empire are utterly useless. When I am Emperor, I intend to appoint only those who can actually be useful. It doesn't matter if they're of noble or common birth.
Noble or common, eh? Can you really do that? I mean, not that I don't agree. I'd make all those nobles vanish if I could.
It's not a question of can or cannot. All that matters is doing it and doing it right. The nobility system has only been around for 1,200 years. The concept didn't exist before that.
Only 1,200 years, huh? You always say such preposterous and extraordinary things, Adie. Yet somehow you actually make it work for you. It's like you're a character from an opera.
A character from an opera? If an opera is made about my life someday, I wonder how I'll be portrayed. The revolutionary who guided the Empire to a new dawn, or the foolish ruler who took her revolution too far?
Well, that all sounds pretty violent. But either way, it would make an incredible opera. Do you figure it'd be a grand action piece full of combat and strife? Or would you prefer a somber political drama?
Hail the mighty Edelgard, though red blood stains her story. Heavy as her crown may be, she will lead a soul to glory. To a brighter dawn we shall carry on. Hail Edelgard!
That's quite enough, Dorothea. I'm starting to feel more than a little embarrassed. Lovely as your voice is, let's just hope that any operatic productions about me are still a ways off.
With this idea, I may be able to get the one-up on Edelgard.
This again.
Hubert! I wish you would not sneak up on me like that.
Maybe you would be more perceptive if your mind were less burdened by sedition.
Sedition? Absurd. This is an important project.
Yes, I heard. A new way to prove how superior you are to Lady Edelgard. She is not your rival, Ferdinand. She is above you. A noble like you ought to know his place.
Anything is better than being a noble like you. Every time you open your mouth, it's Lady Edelgard this or Lady Edelgard that. Do you ever think for yourself? You follow her around like a pet. You spend all of your time fretting over her, and yet you never truly express an opinion of your own. Before you reprimand me, take a moment to consider your own failings.
Your nonsense is tiresome, so I hope this will be the last time I have to remind you. Lady Edelgard is the Imperial Princess. You are merely the Prime Minister's son.
Yes, I understand that. But my duty is to guide her, to give frank advice when she is on the wrong course of action. That is what I strive to do, always. Thus my devotion to surpass Edelgard, so that if she needs guidance, I will be prepared to give it. If you think it is tiresome to have a mind of your own, you will never be much of an advisor.
Does the river of filth pouring out of your mouth ever stop flowing? Your obsession with all things superficial is disgusting. It's no use. You're hopeless. I'll take my leave.
I have nothing more to say to you. Get out of here.
Well, this is fascinating. Following this equation...
Linhardt. Here again, I see.
Go away, Hubert. Now is not a good time. Ah, yes. The double line becomes a helix, and its arc... No, that cannot be correct.
Now is exactly the time. Lady Edelgard requests your presence. Come. The lecture is about to start.
Politely inform her that my research is vastly more important than whatever it is she has to say.
While your passion may be admirable, it is sadly misdirected. This matter takes priority. Return to your hobby when your duty is done.
Hobby? This research will most certainly prove useful in the future.
The Empire requires you to be useful now. I should think you would want the same. You have an almost unparalleled intellect, a singular focus, and unfettered imagination. In truth, you have talents that many, including myself, will never have the privilege of possessing.
Are you complimenting me, Hubert? That alone deserves to be studied.
Let me finish. I haven't an ounce of respect for the cause you have chosen to waste your talents on. which changes frequently, I might add, with no rhyme, reason, or results. Learn to apply yourself to something constructive. You may still have a bright future.
That sounds suspiciously as if you're not going to leave me alone. I just want to live a life doing things that interest me. Is that so wrong?
That is unacceptable, even for a nobleman. Her Highness will soon ascend the throne. She's attempting to deal with such noble privilege head-on.
You have a point, and I understand where you're coming from. But I can't do it. I can't bring myself to work for someone else.
Pathetic. Keep to your books, then. Goodbye, Linhart.
I'm not finished with you. I am Caspar! What's going on, Hubert? You need something?
I watched you training earlier. Pitiful display.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
You yell before every move.
I know. I do it on purpose. It's how I get fired up. Is that a problem for you? You scared?
Stupid habit. If you value your life, you'll break it.
What are you talking about? It sounds like you might have a problem with me.
As a matter of fact, I do. If it was only your own idiotic life at stake, I wouldn't bother saying anything. But it's not. Your foolishness hurts everyone.
Ooh, you sure do love to hear yourself talk.
Suppose you were to shout on the battlefield as you did in your training today. It is very likely the enemy could anticipate your next move based on your insipid blather. And what if your allies are startled by your outburst and fumble with their weapons as a result? This is not to mention the obvious fact that you would utterly botch any covert operation.
You really think I'm that stupid? I only shout when it's completely necessary. I don't do it all the time.
Whatever habits you develop in training, you will reproduce on the battlefield. Combat is tense and frantic. You will default to your training whether you mean to or not.
Hey, why don't you just shut up about it? I can control myself.
Being outside is so tiring. Tomorrow's gotta be just an inside day, Bernie. Whoa, why is it so cold all of a sudden? It's as if an unspeakable evil just...
You're late.
No, into the light! Back to the beyond from whence you came!
Are you telling me to die?
Hubert!
In the flesh. I came to ask you something.
Oh no, what did I do? Think, Bernie, think!
There have been sightings of a sinister figure carrying a sharp object, wandering the halls at night. A strange giggle, the glimmer of a needle in the dark, the sound of a door creaking open and closed.
I was embroidering.
I suspected as much. Then you leave me no choice.
What? No, I'm too young to die. I've got so much left to do. Please don't kill me!
About what I expected.
It's no good. I can't run anymore.
That was quite a sprint. A shame you lack stamina. Now to my duty.
You're going to execute me, aren't you? Please, let me compose my last will and testament. Or at least a swan song. The creak of a door. Sorrow like a needle point. Bernie's gone away.
Bernadetta, a word of caution. How would you feel if you fell or bumped into someone while carrying around that needle? Please watch where you're going in the future. How did you manage to faint while standing up? Well, I cannot simply leave her here. Completely unreasonable. How will I see to this?
Hubie, what are you doing here?
A routine matter. No cause for concern.
Ah, so it's something to do with 80 then.
And?
She really is all you ever think about, isn't she? Look, I know you're doing all this so that she'll like you, but if you go too far, she'll end up pushing you away. Maybe even hate you.
This has nothing to do with swaying Lady Edelgard's sentiments. I am simply her humble servant. I do what is in her best interest. Whether she cares for me or not is irrelevant.
It really doesn't look that way to me. I bet you'd follow any order 80 gave if you thought it would make her like you. Am I right?
Any order? What a thing to suggest. But the answer is no. I will decline any directive that I deem would not be beneficial to her.
Is that right? So, just for example, if 80 commanded you to find yourself a suitable wife, would you do it?
If it would benefit her in some way for me to marry, then yes, I would marry.
It's easy to say that now, with no bridal party in sight. But if it was the day of the wedding? Nah, I don't believe that.
I don't care what you believe. My only wish is to see Lady Edelgard fulfill her ambitions. All other matters pale in comparison.
Hubie, pale in comparison? You've seen too many operas. I don't think you understand how the world works. At all.
And I don't care what you think either. I would make any sacrifice to support Lady Edelgard. It's a shame you've never experienced such devotion.
You're right. I don't have anyone like that right now. But maybe someday I will.
Then maybe someday you'll understand. Until then, we will never see eye to eye. Now, if you will excuse me, I have much to do.
Hubie, I don't get you. Although I do find your point of view just fascinating.
Petra. Industrious as ever, I see.
Hello, Hubert. Yes, I am trying to be industrious. I must be working hard to improve my position. Right now, it is not a good one.
Even accounting for that, your efforts are impressive. I wish a little of you would rub off on certain people here. One troublesome slouch in particular.
Rub? I will not be rubbing on anyone.
Not literally. I never would have imagined you would adjust so well to life in Fodlan. When I first met you, you couldn't understand a single word of the language. You had the look of a cornered animal. So much so I thought you'd grown up in the wild.
I had more youth then, and the experience was terrifying. My grandfather ordered me to go to Fodlan with suddenness. I was stolen to a strange land filled with strange people. The treatment I was receiving was like I was a strange beast.
It is unfortunate, but while you were called our guest, you were actually a hostage. You were meant to be insurance that Brigid would not restore its alliance with Dagda and attack us. The Empire required leverage, and after all, you are the Princess of Brigid.
It gave me sadness to leave my home, but I am not unhappy that I came to the Empire. I have learned much understanding from the outside world. My experience has made me become who I am. And meeting you and Lady Edelgard has had great value for me.
I admire your spirit in the face of adversity. You set a strong example to follow. And there is much more adversity to come.
Just look at this place. It's so beautiful, I believe I should take a nap and enjoy it properly.
Linhart, lost in thought, I see. Unacceptable. Are you not aware that a noble's duty is to be ever vigilant?
Rest increases alertness. Is there something I can do for you, Ferdinand?
Well, I was just passing by, and I thought I could give you a little advice. You always seem to be napping. Why not spend your free time doing something productive?
Easier said than done, Ferdinand. I'm afraid I suffer from a constitution that tires easily.
Some training will remedy that. Let us work on that today. I will train you myself. Arise, Linhart. The righteous path of the noble lies before you.
You're always giving it your all, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Is there something wrong with that?
Of course not. In fact, I rather enjoy your demeanor. You go all out even when others wish you wouldn't. You work hard, inspire the admiration of others, and your dignity as a noble is beyond reproach.
I consider it my mission to serve as a guide and a model for other members of the nobility.
As capable as you are striking. Next to you, I am a mere infant.
Oh, you are far too kind. Although I do work hard each day to achieve all of which you speak.
You've mastered all the important noble skills. You drink tea, talk about how great you are, ride horses.
Indeed. I went for a ride earlier today.
Is that so? You'll have to tell me about it sometime when I'm not walking away.
Where are you going?
I must get some sleep, being the infant that I am. Farewell for now, Ferdinand, oh noble among nobles.
Noble among nobles? Seems a bit much. Did he say get some sleep? Hey, wait! Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives. Help!
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door. Just listen to me.
I don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay. I like truces.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did. I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine, actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself. It wasn't all your fault, you know. I'm to blame too. I hurt you, and I'm sorry.
Really, it is fine. It healed quickly.
And it wasn't for nothing either.
I am not so sure.
I do like my time alone. Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while. Maybe if I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again, because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything. So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is. So, the end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious! At least I got you to laugh.
Ah, Dorothea! The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
Ferdy, I must say you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again. Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone? Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right. The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee. That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker?
You're looking pretty tired, Linhardt. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father. I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
That would be rather cruel. I don't think anyone in Fodlan could beat up your father. My father does have the height advantage, though.
Height advantage? What does that matter?
When two opponents are of similar strength, the one with the height advantage wins. It's pure math.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength. There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself. Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
And off he goes.
They're all so strong, I couldn't land a single blow.
So it's as I said then, isn't it? The tallest fighter has the advantage. And my father could beat yours in a fight. Petra, would you pause a moment?
Yes? Are you wanting something?
I was observing your spear work, and I wonder if you don't think your transitions are sloppy. The way you move your arm before a strong thrust hinders your movement and slows your spear on its way back. It leaves a rather large opening.
Which arm? My left or right?
I think the right... No, actually it's both. It's something about the way you move your elbows.
I am not understanding. Can you show me, please?
Demonstrate? No, I'd hate to get sweat all over my book.
But I must correct this. Please. Or are you unable to do, and you can only teach?
I am more of a theorist than a practitioner. I advise and you implement. Very simple.
Then, please advise again.
It's all quite simple. Sometimes you make a big stab downwards, right? Before that, you lift up. At that point, you sort of let the tension go and stop. It ruins the momentum of the stab.
How can I be lifting up with no unnecessary moving?
It's the arm movement that's extraneous. Calculate the locus of the spear and the elasticity of the muscles.
Locus? Elasticity? Can you not just be showing me? Please. If you are showing me, I will learn it with quickness.
I won't waste your time with such demonstrations. You're a smart one, Petra. You'll sort it out. Besides, I need to go now. I have a prior appointment to keep.
Linhardt only likes talking. It is on myself to prevail.
Petra's really nice. Never yells, never says mean things about people. Maybe she'd be my friend. Oh, there she is now. Okay, Bernie, you can do this.
Bernadetta, are you needing help with something?
How did you know? Do you have eyes in the back of your head or something?
I do not have that, no.
Right. Can I ask you something? Do you want to, maybe, be friends or something? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like me. I don't know what you think of me.
What I am thinking? I am thinking that you remind me of prey.
What?
Yes, like a rabbit in the tall grass. Always watching for enemies, and you flee at any sign of danger. You are quick also. I must be careful that I am not hunting Bernie when I take out my bow.
Oh, you try not to shoot me. That's, nice.
You have similarities with prey. That is all I mean to be saying.
So you're saying you might end up hunting me?
There is no need to have concern. I will make sure my arrows are not hitting you.
That isn't comforting. Whatever I did to deserve this, forgive me!
You do not need forgiveness, but it is yours if you are wanting it. Was I saying something wrong?